to another session of Wear Many Hats podcast. My name is Rachel, and this is the FM Facilities dedicated podcast. So welcome. And today we have a very special guest. He is the property director of Ballymore, James Watson. Welcome, James.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Rachel.
We're absolutely delighted to have you here. You've got some great experience here within the FM industry, so I'm looking forward to getting stuck in and listening to what you've been through and to where you've got to today, and
Sure.
hopefully very insightful for anyone coming into the industry.
So,
So let's rewind back.
Yeah.
I mean, I've looked on your LinkedIn. Obviously, that's what I do, and I can see that you've worked for some really good companies there. You've got Harrods Estates on their first port, Countrywide. It's big names to name a few. You've got lots of letters after your name.
I try.
I don't even know what some of those stand for. But yeah, let's go back. Where did it all start for you?
Originally, actually, before my time in property management, I guess I'd done retail management. So I'd done retail management and what I would call kind of construction.
Right.
So residential building, which at the time probably thought it would give me no platform for property management, but in hindsight it did.
Yeah.
So obviously managing people, managing clients, and obviously just an understanding of just sort of building design, a bit like basic DNA of a building. So,
right. Yeah.
So that kind of basically started me out. And from there, I found myself sort of in between looking for a career change. So I ended up temping for Countrywide Estate Management in their LPA receivership team, which is a slightly sad note because it was to do with predominantly mortgages that are defaulted.
Oh.
So if you defaulted on your mortgage, predominantly if it was buy-to-let property,
Yes.
went into receivership.
Yes.
And that's essentially where I started. So I managed to secure a permanent role there and met a lot of people within the business and then stepped out again. And then later on, sort of basically when I decided to kind of get into property management, I managed to secure a property management role with them.
Okay. So property is what you've sort of been, is that kind of, did you always think you would end up there at where you are now? Did you, is it, because obviously you started in retail, you wanted something different?
I did want something
enjoy
different.
that?
Retail's great when you're young. But sort of selling fashion clothes to 16 to 25-year-olds when maybe you're a bit in your twilight years isn't the one. So I wanted a career change. I thought I had those sort of skill sets I could utilize within sort of property management. So I sort of did, and as I sort of mentioned, I started off at Countrywide, and then from there went on to work for First Sport. So a mixture. I started off in what would you refer to as sort of block management, portfolio management. Countrywide like to give you a sort of quite varied portfolio. So my portfolio ranged from Norfolk. All the way down to sort of past South London, parts of Essex. So it's quite a diverse portfolio. Done a lot of miles in the car, which was great. And then I went into fundamentally estate management. So site-based role, working for a development in Kent called Ingress Park, which was a 70.
I know it.
Do you know it?
Live.
Yes. Yeah, so 72 acres, had an abbey on there.
Yes.
Press Nicholson was the developer.
It's right on the Thames there.
Yeah, lovely.
Stunning.
Yeah, fantastic development.
Still really reasonably priced.
Yes, very much so. Close to blue water.
Yeah.
So, I worked there for First Sport. It was Consort at the time when they were Peveril. And I worked there for just around 2 years. And it was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I actually quite liked the business at the time. However, because it was in Kent and you have aspirations of growing your career, most of their properties, I think 35 of the sort of 37, 38 properties they had were in central London.
Right.
So there was only kind of one or two properties over towards where I was based. Some politely senior management. You weren't there, you weren't in the spotlight, is probably the honest answer there. So in order to try and progress my career, I wanted to move into London, working in London.
Yeah.
And at the time, just the sites that First Port had that were available were West London, which coming from Essex
is that where you're
from? Yeah,
going to say, where are you
adopted
from?
Essex boy. It was a bit of a distance, so unfortunately didn't happen. So I ended up I ended up with Harrods Estates.
I saw.
Which again was another estate-based role initially, working on a development called Discovery Dock, which was the first residential building in Canary Wharf at the time. Plenty more there now.
Yes, of course.
And I loved my time there. It was fantastic, fantastic company to work for.
I've heard this.
The senior management in the business, fantastic. I had nothing but positive things to say. And then unfortunately, Harrods decided to sell the property management.
Oh no!
So the PL management side of the business, which I understand the reasoning for. And obviously, Rendall and Rittner.
Okay, yeah.
Were the company that came in and bought the business. And then obviously the head office integrated with R&R, which was at Portsoken House at the time. And essentially a lot of people didn't want to necessarily move, particularly logistically from sort of Hammersmith to Portsoken House. Didn't work for everyone. So I actually ended up taking an opportunity to go back into portfolio management. And was a senior PM within the sort of PL management, formerly Harrods team, that sat within the sort of third floor of Portsoken House.
Okay,
and it was great. I enjoyed it, but it's a different animal.
Okay,
R&R, a big company.
Yes, they are.
A lot of individuals, a lot of property teams. So as you expect, it was. It wasn't as personal as sort of what Harrods had, to be honest, which was absolutely fine. So, for me, I thought it'd run its course. And I was looking for a challenge, and hopefully I'm not the only person out there, but it's always been this draw of working client side.
Yeah.
So the opportunity came, and I ended up joining Ballymore Asset Management as an area manager initially.
Big company.
Yeah, big company, fantastic developer.
Been there a while now, haven't you?
Yeah,
5 years, 10 months.
Yeah, been there a while. So September 2019, and at the time it was a fantastic time to join the business because they had a lot of projects that were still ongoing, big projects. So they had Embassy Gardens, which has got the sky pool. I don't know if you've seen it. So it's basically a acrylic pool that floats between two buildings, about 10 stories high.
What is this?
No, you've not seen it?
I need to.
You're going to have to Google this.
Yeah, Embassy Garden.
Yes.
Did have a quick look.
I've had a swim in it. It's fantastic. So you can basically, it's see-through. So if you're 10 stories up, you can swim between two buildings and admire people below. So fantastic amenity, absolutely.
Can't be scared of heights then?
No.
Don't know if it'd be for me, but I'll have a look.
It's beautiful. And obviously the development in itself, fantastic amenities. It's got 2 gyms.
Oh, yeah.
Cinema rooms, business centres, lounges. Obviously next to the US Embassy. Fantastic. And at the same time, they had a development opening in Canary Wharf, which is Wardian.
Yeah. Which
was the 2 biggest tower buildings that they'd ever built, which was, I think, 55 and 54 stories.
It's over there now.
Yeah, brilliant. I mean, I have an interesting story. So they have a sky bar on the 55th floor.
Yeah.
And I remember just completing on that and obviously up there for a senior meeting looking around the amenities, and as we spoke, a helicopter roughly the same height as the building just banked around the building, and you could literally see the pilot in there almost waving at you. It's fantastic. But I'm probably rambling on, but that's...
You're not scared of heights then?
No, and then that's essentially kind of where I've been now. Obviously, the business has changed, it's evolved, the roles have changed and evolved. So now I'm a property director, predominantly deal with 2 developments in East London, so Royal Wharf Riverscape. And fantastic site. It's you're looking at about 45 acres.
Gosh.
Just in and around 4,200 units, about 10,000 residents.
So it's mainly residential?
Yeah, mixed use. So 64 commercial units. Mixed use, so you've got affordable, shared ownership, private, townhouses, but it's fantastic. It's right next to I've lost myself now. Thames Barrier. Sorry, know this. It's between. Yeah, so it's between.
I was thinking more east. Okay.
It's between 2 parks. You've got Thames Barrier Park and Lisle Park.
Right.
So, and honestly, a fantastic estate. and a fantastic team down there, has to be said. So work with the team now for around 4 years.
And it's all established and running and up.
Yes, yeah. I think there's a few units, a few properties to be sold in Riverscape, but the sales of that particular site were fantastic.
Yeah,
particularly good sort spot. Of where the market was a little bit flat for a while. But
Elizabeth Line.
So you've got the Thames Clipper. It's got its own.
Yeah, I know that bit.
You've got a bus that runs through the estate. You've got the DLR.
Yeah,
and you've got the Elizabeth Line, which is making about 8 minutes away. I think
it's brilliant, isn't it? Because obviously English Park, I know because I live in Greenhive, and of course that's the Elizabeth Line. I go to Abbey Wood and then go straight off into London. It's so quick.
And
I can see we pass through there as well. Woolwich, that's crazy. But yeah, that's so impressive. So is there anyone that kind of gave you a real push in your career, or because you sort of talking quite independently? Was there anyone that sort of any family or friends or anyone that kind of or anyone that you've worked with that kind of pushed you into where you are?
I mean, I'd say to be transparent, me and my wife met when we were both 30, and we both started our career journeys at the same time.
Okay.
So we both started off quite kind of politely, sort of starting off in the industry, and to be honest, both come up. She's done really very well for herself. She works in the medical industry, and we've sort of it's a double act. So we've worked our way up, and I think within the industry, it certainly it does help to build relationships.
Yeah.
So I've definitely built some great relationships over the years with people in the industry. And at times they have come in handy for trying to network and potentially switch roles. And in the same vein, I've certainly used it myself to bring people into Ballymore.
Of course, I guess you've worked with people as well.
Yeah, so I think it's in the sort of time I've been there, I've probably introduced probably close to a dozen people to the business.
Yeah.
Again, through kind of forged relationships that you build in.
And people know people, don't they? And that's
exactly.
Yeah, and Ballymore's a good company to work for, so I know them quite well. Working in recruitment in the past, I've heard of Ballymore. I know them. So your wife you work together almost in terms of pushing one another to do.
I think you need someone. You need someone to sort of fight your corner and push you on. And we've certainly done that. So
that's brilliant. And she's doing well too. So that's
she is. Yeah, she's very, very well. I'm waiting for her to step up to some role that can allow me to retire.
You've got kids as well.
Yes.
Maybe they could do that too.
I'll happily be a stay-at-home dad, but look after the dogs as well.
I love that. So what does a day, like obviously Ballymore, but this is where many hats comes in. What does a day in your world look like, James?
Yeah, I think probably for most people in property management, it's quite varied. There's I guess, like I mentioned, the sort of size of the schemes that we're dealing with at the moment. There's not really a quiet day. There's always something going on within the portfolio or on the site that requires sometimes urgent attention.
Of course.
But essentially in property management, everything from sort of strategic planning to operational overview, health and safety, compliance, legislation, regulations. And then all the what I would call is your bread and butter, accounts, debtors, invoice processing.
You're busy. There's many there.
Client relations, contract management. I think now certainly the cliche, but the expression sort of jack of all trades, master of none.
Yes.
And I certainly, I personally feel that in property management now, you've really got to be so varied in your skill set. You've got to be able to essentially put your hand to everything.
Yeah.
So that pretty much is probably a standard Monday to Friday. And I don't know if I'm the only one out there, but for whatever reason, Fridays always tend to be busier than you want them to be.
Yeah. I think so. It's quiet in here right now. I don't know whether the sun's out and people are just working from home, but we work out of labs, so it seems to be quite quiet today.
Yeah, it's lovely and cool.
Yeah, it is. Oh, wow. So that is what I think you said about 15 different things there. Gosh, that's a lot. And do you have a team under you helping you?
Yes. Yeah, I'm very privileged. Got a fantastic team. Essential, I think, probably big part of what I've been about in my time with Ballymore definitely is trying to build that sort of team ethos, bring in some good people. Like we mentioned, you meet some fantastic people in the industry.
Yeah, you do.
And we have, I've got a team of sort of 6 managers underneath me.
Wow.
We've got a team of about 100 staff. And yeah, I as I said, doesn't matter how experienced you are, doesn't matter about your accreditations, etc. But when you're working in property management, you can't do it alone. You need a strong team around
Absolutely.
you. So very blessed.
Because there's a lot there. So if you can delegate.
Very much so. Yes.
I tend to delegate and then forget what I've told them to do, and then don't know if it's been done or not. That's my problem there. Yeah. So you've got to be able to follow up and make sure you can trust and rely upon those staff.
Yeah, that's key.
Which is, like you said, so you've got a good team. So and I hope they're listening to this.
I hope so.
So let's talk about challenges. What's testing you right now?
EWS1. If you're familiar with that at all. So every 5 years now, due to sort of the BSR fire safety requirements, communal doors, apartment doors. I'm sure every property manager out there is trying to manage that piece, which is very time consuming, particularly on big sites. But EWS ones is essentially it's a form you now require in order to basically remortgage, sell your property.
Okay.
It's all to do with fire safety. It's all to do with the cosmetic, the DNA, the profile of the outside of the building, what it's made of.
It is to do with cladding?
It is. It's all to do, it predominantly is to do with cladding, yes. And it's a big piece of work.
Yes.
It is particularly on, as I mentioned, Royal Wharf is 64 different blocks.
Correct.
So, and with Riverscape a further 10. So it is a big piece. I feel in the industry there's a shortage of accredited individuals that can come and essentially carry out the relevant forms. So, I think everyone in the industry is struggling. But as a business, I think we've done very well. We've been very quick to try and get to market, try and tender for the works. And we've been quite fortunate. But like everything, there is some delay in the renewals now, but fortunately the market has softened a little bit. Mortgage companies are now more open to remortgaging, as long as there's sort of comfort letters, and if you've got an outdated certificate, as long as that's presented. A lot of mortgage companies have been quite reasonable. Obviously on the back of Grenfell and other things a few years ago, it was a lot different. Yeah,
it's a shame it had to come to that to make changes. But
unfortunately so. But I guess in conjunction with that, now and again, get on my soapbox with everyone out there. But service charge, trying to control service charges, trying to
crazy, isn't it? Yeah.
Keep the pound per square foot low, and try and look after your leaseholders is I think more challenging than it's ever been in my lifetime of doing property. It's 13, 14 years now.
Yeah.
Because I personally see now as a property manager or as a property management company that you are limited on what controls you have now over service charge. You are dictated to in some respects of what you need to cover. So it's a challenging time for property managers.
And there's pound notes in there, so that would be really challenging.
It is
when it comes down to money.
It is, and you understand. We're in a time now where people are struggling to pay their bills.
It's tough out there, isn't it?
So it is. So I think a big part of property management now, certainly what we're trying to do is work hard to try and mitigate as much of the cost as we can. So always looking to diversify, see what we can do on site to sort of influence any cost savings. So, and I'm sure your listeners are doing exactly the same.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh, it's tough times at the minute, isn't it? And I don't know when it's going to pass, or who knows. So where, obviously you've got, must have some projects coming up. So where do you think the industry's heading, in especially Ballymore's case?
Yeah, I think, from where I started now, it's diversifying a lot. You've got PSR, you've got BTR, so obviously a lot of rental properties now.
Yeah.
A big trend, up and coming trend now is affordable homes.
Yes.
So I think, sort of government are very keen on trying to deliver affordable homes, particularly within London. And I recently sat in on a business update for Ballymore, and they're very much striving to try and help deliver that. So, I think it's just been published, but they've just signed up to a joint venture scheme with TfL at Canning Town, which I think is about 1,500 homes. 40% of it will be affordable.
Right.
So
like shared ownership stuff, or
I think it'd be a mixture between sort of shared ownership and social rented. Yeah. So I think it's certainly something, obviously, that, like I say, the government have said that they wanted to deliver in their time, and certainly I think the industry now are certainly trying to adapt to try and aid in delivering that where they can.
Yeah. Gosh, there's so much going on at the minute, isn't it?
There is. Could talk for hours on kind of common hold and leasehold, and a lot going on. So
what about sort of ESG and tech? Are you guys sort of involved in that?
Yeah, always.
Yeah. You're moving with the times.
We're trying, most definitely so. Yeah. Obvious choices like kind of green and brown roofs, and a lot of our developments now have got solar PV on the roofs, so trying to generate electricity there. Other sustainable energy ideas, but most recently kind of EV chargers. So I've been working a lot.
Which is more popular now, aren't they?
Very much so. Yeah, I think it's sort of, it's EV charging project is something we've just worked on for Royal Wharf for around 12 months now. And it's obviously kind of delivering a whole range of EV chargers across. We have 6 car parks, so it's a big development. And it's always trying to look at sort of that sustainability. The big thing with, I think, with the, let's get on my soapbox again now, the kind of the waste side of the environmental piece, I think is quite a challenge.
Yes.
Interesting, what other property managers have found out there, but sort of post-COVID, so many more residents work from home now.
Yes, I know.
And they do so much more online shopping than what they used to. So they generate so much more waste at site level.
Yeah.
So trying to work with like local councils, authorities to try and manage that piece is exceptionally challenging. So, we're trying to do what we can to recycle, but I'd say we probably generate, I'd assume, somewhere around 35% more waste easily than what we did sort of before COVID. And then, sort of the social piece. I think this is where Ballymore particularly have really strived in the industry. They're huge on the sort of tagline, homes, not houses.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, so that's that. They are really keen on delivering sort of communities.
Yeah.
So community engagement is big. They run events across all of the portfolio every year. I think this Saturday we've got a big summer fete at Royal Wharf, which is obviously all free to residents. A big event. We have a big green.
Lovely.
All sorts of different market traders.
Oh, this is lovely.
Comes on, and it's a huge piece for the community.
Yeah.
Really gives them an opportunity to come together. Hopefully the weather's good.
I think it's really warm, actually.
Yeah, no, I think great.
Sunscreen.
Last when we did it last year, unfortunately the weather was a little bit negative.
Oh no, we're just rubbish, aren't we? I think it's really warm though. I think it's going to have the opposite.
I'll make sure the staff have got sun.
Definitely, hats and water. Yeah, 100%. Well, that sounds really positive.
Yeah, it is, and they do. I mean, obviously, things like we do a lot of meet the manager events and other functions that I'm sure other property managers do. We have to do food markets. We have local vendors that come out and do that. The business is huge on community spaces. So a lot of our sites have some sort of community facility, whether it's a community centre, whether or not it's a lounge or a working space. but it's all about trying to harbour that community. Yeah, particularly, I mean, again, it's only my perception, but in my time in property management, I do feel that post-COVID, interestingly enough, in my view, that a lot of these sort of apartment-based communities have started to develop more since it, because I think obviously a lot of people realised when they were sort of stuck at home that they didn't have that ability to socialise.
Yeah, of course. So the neighbours were.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's what happened. I think people chat over their balconies and whatnot, and it's certainly driven that now. And Royal Wharf particularly is a big family development. A lot of kids. Yeah. I think that we have a school on the development.
Okay.
We had 3 independent nurseries on the development.
Gosh.
So you can just tell from that it's
making people's lives easier.
It is 100%. I mean, there's a secondary school that's situated close by, and I think that's the whole sort of purpose. We have a diverse community down there for sure, but a big family-based community. So again, summer event. Sort of this Saturday should really go. Yeah,
great to have that in London.
Yeah, 100%.
That's fantastic. And so AI, is it a friend or foe for you guys?
Do you know what? For me, yes.
Do you use it? Are you a Chat GPT fan?
Do you know what? I think anything that can make a property manager's life easier, is definitely a win. Mm-hmm. I definitely agree. You can use AI. It's good, like you say. There's all sorts out there now that you can sort of use.
But I think people are saying, sorry to interrupt you there. Is that you still need that interaction with people. And
well, do you know what? Funny enough, so I did make some notes, but that's essentially what I was going to say. For me, I've sort of stress tested, funny enough, a couple of bits, and again, I wouldn't sit here proclaiming that I'm an IT whiz at all. Certainly not. But some of the information it provides isn't always factually correct.
Yeah.
So
yes, you've got to check it.
So I feel this is the concern for me, is particularly in the industry when everyone is has got so much on their plate.
Yeah.
That anything to save time means that at times maybe people don't. They don't check and ensure that what they've got in front of them is accurate.
Yeah.
I still think you can't beat. There is a lot of service partners, a lot of accredited people out there, consultants that are out there for the purpose of being able to validate things for you.
Yeah.
It's experience. People within the industry that have got the experience, that are in. Senior levels that have sort of worked their way. You can't beat the knowledge.
Yeah.
So I think, again, definitely. For me, AI is great, definitely has a place in the modern era, but I still think you can depend a lot on like you mentioned, kind of face-to-face speaking with people. Interactions and relying upon good sound sources of knowledge, people that can provide you sound advice.
And you also mentioned about your connections and your network of people. You can't get that from machinery or so I find that a lot of people are kind of on the fence with it. Some are scared of it, I think. But generally we're wary, aren't we?
Yes.
We're still wary. So you obviously, we spoke quite a lot about ESG. So for you guys, do you feel like you're innovating fast enough? I think it sounds like you are.
Yeah, I do. I think, my time in property management, as mentioned, worked for, a few good companies there. And I've always felt in every company I've worked with that certainly no one is afraid of technology, advancing what they're doing, systems,
embracing it.
100%. So, very briefly, like what we do now, we have a CAFM system for those that work in facilities management.
Yes,
I think is essential. Okay. That covers all of your compliance, your PPMs.
Keeps you organised. Yeah,
you need that. You particularly now with, like we mentioned, the volume of workload and tasks that are presented to FMs and PMs, etc. That anything that can aid. Yeah. So a lot of these CAFM systems are set up that once you've got everything on there, they will help you through your day to day. They will almost sort of manage your workload to a point. They're diarised. It'll be diarised in there. It'll be flagged. And yeah, we use a lot of systems now. We use a lot of systems from a property management perspective. I guess it's really the boom of going from an era where everything was on an Excel spreadsheet to having so many different systems now.
Go way back. Go like
yes,
writing it out and faxing it.
I'm not. Oh yes. I'm going to show our age now.
I'm sorry. Yeah, fax. I used to
those dialing tones.
I used to fax application forms across in my CV days. Yeah, long time ago.
I know.
Pages would get lost and things have changed.
Well, if you remember, you used to receive faxes through your printers. Do you remember that?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. I think we've probably lost some people now on this.
One of my first jobs as work experience was a fax operator. I actually just sat there just doing faxing all day in the law office.
I mean, I come from the age where, you when you were really young, you thought you'd call it you had a pager.
Yes.
Let alone a mobile now. So
yeah, really me and you must be similar. We must be a similar age. Oh gosh. So looking back, what's your best project or a moment that you're really still proud of today?
So yeah, for me, it was a hard one. When you look back and you sort of think there's
must have a lot.
A project. Yeah, to be honest with you, I think when you've been in any particular industry for a long time, there's a lot to lean back on. I think for me personally, I think it's always about trying to feel like you've left a legacy.
Nice.
Yeah. So I think again, I don't feel like property management. You always get a lot of gratitude and reward from people. People will tend to leave you alone unless they've got a complaint. From a leaseholder resident perspective, which is understandable. Everyone's leading busy lives. So for me, it's always been about trying to if I leave a role, leave a position, it's to reflect back on my own and think at least there's a legacy there, whatever it be, whether or not we've done a big renovation or whether or not we've built a team. So for me currently, it definitely is. I think as I've got a bit older and my role has changed, it's about leaving sort of almost like a legacy from a staffing perspective. So, now I really at a stage in my life where I love to impart knowledge. Yeah. Try and give advice. Yeah. But really trying to help develop people. So I'm a huge advocate for accreditations.
Yes, so I saw.
I push my team every year to basically take up something different, whether it's a different training opportunity, whether or not it's a different accreditation, and really try and develop them and build them what it is they want to do in property management. And
because there's so many different
you can
areas they can go into.
You look at it now, you can work towards a front of house role if that's what you prefer, like a residential services or a general manager type role. You can go into operations. You can go down the route I did with property management.
Yes.
But facilities management equally is huge now.
Yeah.
So I've really keen now, particularly with the team I've had, just to try and develop them and then try and almost create, if I can, like a succession path to follow. So if they wish, and that's probably what I take out of it the most at the moment is
lovely.
Is hopefully that in hopefully 10, 20 years time, people will say, oh well, my career really kicked off when I worked with James.
We'll have to get one of your managers on and
I have to sense check that what they say first.
That's it. We'll have to get one in and get their feedback on your management. See what they've learned from you. And there's that question about who gave you the real push in your career. I'm sure you'll probably be mentioned.
Yeah, I hope so.
Oh, that's lovely. So what's something you wish you knew when you were starting out?
Funny enough,
because there must be a lot.
Do you know? So do you know the expression "don't bite off more than you can chew"?
Yes.
And I don't know if you ever heard it, but aim small, hit big.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just if I could go back to the original me that started off in property management, I think I'd say kind of take your time, prioritize projects, tasks, work through them one by one, things that you naturally do now. But I think when I started off, you're eager to please.
Yeah, of course.
You're trying to impress, particularly people within your business. But equally, if you're a new manager in a new role, you will deal with individuals on particularly on your portfolio, on your sites that may be disgruntled. that are eager to see change, improvements, etc. And a lot of people will pick up the mantle and they will run with it and they will try and do everything they can to create change. But I'd say, early doors when I started off and probably subsequently after, I've seen it like a trend.
Right.
New people come in and, they try and rip up the book, so to speak.
Yeah.
And sometimes it can really, I've seen it cause burnout in property managers, particularly where they really try and tackle everything at once.
Wear many hats.
So, yeah, exactly. And I think that, so like I say, now, I've learned the hard way probably over the years. But yeah, certainly that would be my advice. Just, aim small, hit big, quick wins.
Yeah.
Look at anything in front of you and understand in those tasks what's quick and easy to achieve.
Yeah.
Get those on the board. Get some wins, and then try and work on prioritizing the big tasks and work through them. And understand, I think that like with managing emails, it doesn't matter how late you work and how many emails you answer, they will come back.
I know.
They will be there tomorrow. Exactly. So
I think I'm learning that.
Yeah, I think I say it to the team now. I say, look, you've got to almost try and stay fresh. Don't work to the wee hours trying to constantly stay on top of everything. It is like spinning plates, property management. So, just accept that and sort of, just manage it as you can. Lean on others, get support from your team.
Do good in small chunks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I say, small wins can go a long way in building great relationships.
And it makes you feel good about yourself and what you've achieved.
Exactly.
I like that. Good advice, Jen. So someone came to you tomorrow and said, I want to do what you do. What would you say?
Fantastic choice.
Yeah.
Honestly. No, I think property management is a fantastic industry to get in. Probably kill me now, but I got my brother into property management.
Oh, really?
Yes, and he's doing fantastic.
A family thing.
Yes.
Is he working with Ballymore or is he working?
Funny enough, he is. He didn't start there. He found his own feet, and he worked for Rendell and Rittner for some years.
Okay.
But he now is a property manager.
Oh, this is
on one of our developments, absolutely crushing it.
We'll have to get him in.
Well.
Him in the show.
Yeah. So, but it is. Do you know what? It's a fantastic industry to be in. There's a lot of opportunities.
Yeah.
Still, I think so much growth to come. I think for people starting out, I certainly would say take your time, learn your craft.
Yes.
I
hear this.
Where you can. Obviously, people need to earn certain money, but don't rush. If you can start off on like an entry level role.
Yeah.
If you can start there and be like a sponge.
Learn it all.
Yeah. One of the things I thought to myself is find a mentor. Really do find someone. I was very lucky. I had some fantastic people. A gentleman I mentioned to you before we started, Efan, was a great mentor for me. Was always at the other end of a phone if I needed advice. Yeah. And that's what you need. And even years later, he would still be someone. Now I haven't spoken to him for a little while. We're due lunch, but I know now if I picked up the phone, he'd give me his advice. He'd give me his time, and I think that's essential because I say that property management is organic. And what I mean by that is you never stop learning.
Yes.
There's so much change in the industry that something you think you knew 6 months ago
is now changed.
It can change.
Evolving, isn't it?
Exactly.
Constantly evolving. That's lovely that you've got a mentor, and I'm sure you're probably someone's mentor now. I would have thought you don't need to be modest. It's fine. So wrapping up, you mentioned you've got children and wife, so you're busy outside of your day job, and
very much.
You mentioned about sort of switching off. So that's great. So obviously you must do that, practice what you preach. And so what do you do outside of work?
I try.
Are you sporty? Are you off doing family things? What do you do?
Got some ailments now, so not as sporty as I used to
be. The knees.
Exactly. It is, the knee.
I thought it might
That's a story I'll tell you off air, but I put in for a marathon and I got as far as a half marathon and did my knee. So
but you tried.
I dabble, I dabble now. But my youngest daughter, she's a keen diver, so she dives for locally in Southend. So she does very well. Try and get to watch her as much as I can.
That's impressive.
Obviously, I mentioned I used to work in the building industry, so my wife calls it DIY, but renovation projects.
Nice. That's so exciting. Where you live, or
yes, at home. So I'm currently building an outside office.
Okay.
And then when I do get some time, football and golf.
Right.
Football and golf.
Watching or playing?
Watching football now. Used to play.
But the knee.
Huge West Ham fan.
West Ham, oh dear. Yeah.
We won't talk about last season, but hopefully we'll turn it around next year. And then golf, probably like most 40+ men out there now, I'm trying to learn golf.
Seems really relaxing. I've never done it.
It's great. I mean, it's a great excuse to have a few beers with your friends as well. So so that's
not as aggressive as football, is it?
No, it is.
It's chilled.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's tiring.
Well, you've got all the miles to walk.
But it's good fun.
Yeah, it seems it. So, what's the last? What's the sort of wrapping up? What's the best bit of advice you've been given?
Do you know it was hard. I was hard to say, but do you know, someone said to me before, kind of about this was about. They said it to me. In regards of going out there and trying to develop my career, but also in regards of hiring people. And that's, just demonstrate good common sense, which you'll be surprised is
hard.
Is not in an abundance out there at times. And then just good work ethic, apply yourself. I think if you're a bit of a grafter, the property management industry is hard work. But if you can roll up your sleeves and rise to the challenge. I think that's the thing. But just some good common sense in there as well. And yes, someone, like I said, years ago, someone said it to me, and it sort of, and particularly now, if I'm honest, even sort of going through recruitment processes at times when I look at candidates, that still resonates. Yeah, still resonates for me.
It's tough recruitment. It's people talk a good game.
it's a hard, it's a hard industry out there, and like naturally in property management, people do. I think maybe to try and mitigate that burnout, people do move on. They stay within the industry, hopefully, but people. But then I think from a networking perspective and sort of developing your career, it's not the worst thing.
No. Okay. Thank you so much for coming along, James, and talking through your career. And I'm sure people might want to reach out to you on LinkedIn or something. I don't know how great you are on LinkedIn.
I hope it's not being too boring.
No, not at all. It's what it's all about. They want to hear how you got to where you got to, and some advice from you. So there's some great inspirational tips in there that people will definitely aspire to.
So.
I really appreciate you coming on today, and enjoy your Friday evening. With the missus having some dinner. Yes. And thank you. So that's the end of today's podcast with Rachel here at Wear Many Hats. And that was James Watson, the property director of Ballymore. So do reach out to him on LinkedIn if you've got any questions. I'm sure he'll be free to answer those. And we'll see you next time.